Now as I tumble down highways, filthy overcrowded trains, there's no one to talk to in transit, so sit there and daydream in vain. And behind all these muddled up problems, living on a foreign soil, you still see the twists and turns in the road, the squares of the town. I wish I was on that A17.
Stonewalls and the grasses.
Yes, I wish I was on that A17.
Stonewalls and the grasses.
Traveling with just my thoughts and dreams. Oh, traveling with my thoughts and dreams. One more!
Stone walls and the grass is green. 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 Stone walls and the grass is green.
Davy had the line, I wish I was on the N17. I suppose we were following in the tradition of Route 66 there. And they got married up, a fella wishing he was on the N17. It's slightly ironic because it's a fella being away from home who's used to hitching up and down the N17 or travelling it. It'd be kind of frustrating to be on the N17 because it's that close to home and you're not quite there, like, you know. And it's quite a long, it's not the most scenic of roads in the country, so it's slightly ironic. I wish I was on the N17. You'd wish you were home, like, you know. But I suppose it's being that close to home is what he's wishing.
Leo writes a lot of poetry, but I think a lot of people learn about the poems through music quicker than they'd actually pick it up and read it, you know. Although I hear now that the N17 has actually gone on the junior cert course in Ireland. It's going to be an official exam piece next year. So that's encouraging that the poem has actually gone beyond the song. And it's actually made it onto a curriculum for students, you know. It says a lot for the writing.
We'll play the next song. It's a kind of a romantic song, really, I suppose. We played for John Donnelly, who's such a romantic character here on this. He plays the drums. He's one of the most romantic drummers in the world. 14 years old.
Why do I always want you? Why do I always need you? Why do I always want? It doesn't seem to matter where I am. On my bike or in a traffic jam. My fitter edge couldn't stop the flow. My obsession just grows and grows and grows.
A friend of mine from the town who's a guitar player, Anthony McDermott is his name. He accosted me one day and said the Saw Doctors are looking for a drummer. I'd never heard of the Saw Doctors. So he gave me a phone number. I rang the phone number and I got in touch with Leo. I was chatting to Leo, and Leo organised that the following week I come to tune and rehearse with them and audition with them. So that was grand. So that weekend, before I was going rehearsing with them, there was a knock on the door, and my grandmother answered the door, and Terps and Leo were at the door, and she came in to me and said, "There's two Swedish blokes at the door, strange-looking men." I didn't know what. She said they were looking for me. I didn't know who they were. So I went out to the door anyways, and Terps and Leo were there, and I called them in, and they said they were the side actors, and had a cassette for me to listen to. So we brought them into the dining room, sat down, and I was chatting away, and I found them very strange, just their attitude. And during that as well, they were breaking into their tune slang, which I'd never heard of before. And I went out to the kitchen and said, "God, these blokes are weird. It's like, you know, talking funny languages and everything. It's really strange." So I had the cassette with me, so I said, "God, put on the cassette." I was making tea at the time for them. And I heard two songs, and I just said, "Oh no, it's a country band." Because the two songs that I heard were country bands, it was from a gig. So I said, "Oh no." So I got the cassette and I just threw it over across the room. I said, "Come on, make the pot of tea and let these fellas go home, like, get them out of the house. I don't know who they are." So I'm back inside anyways, and they just stayed and chatted for about hours and hours. And at that stage, my mother was coming in saying, "They're not gone yet." I said, "No, no, getting there, we're getting there." Because after that, then I invited them out for a game of snooker uptown, just get them out of the house. Because I just couldn't understand them, their tune slang and what have you. I didn't know where they were coming from. So they went anyway that evening, and it was grand. I thought that was it, you know, job done. The following week then, they rang me, and the Waterboys were playing in the Olympia in Dublin, and they asked me to go up with them. So I went up with them that night, and I've been stuck with them ever since.
I suppose